Hi there. I'm bringing you my latest haul video well, not haul video. Well, there's not going to be any major haul videos for me for a while, but this is just my new comic book day video for. This is now Thursday, the 16th, so 15th was the new comic book day, and I picked up a few things. I'm going to show you this first. I'm not actually going to open this up in this video. Instead, I think I'll just open it up and show what I get on Instagram. So I picked up that, got a bag and board for it. So, and I'm just sort of quickly shooting this video in between. I'm working on more lately on my role playing stuff than on anything for comic books. I have my game that I run on Eon World for players who have been playing with me for a long time, and we had to stop playing because my computer died, but I now have a new setup, and so now we're getting back into playing. So that's where I'm going to be devoting a lot of my time from now on. So anyway, I was at Warp One, acting as my new LCS for now, and I decided I would pick up the issue number 8 of Absolute Wonder Woman. I had gotten away from getting that series, but I just, I already had found issue number 9 in a dollar bin. So issue number 8, and I have issue 8 and 9. And then I found issue number 12 in a dollar bin, so now I got to find 10 and 11 to see whether I can find them in dollar bins or I'll just order them from Rolling Tales. I haven't decided. Also decided to pick up issue number 4 of Batman Gotham by Gaslight, A League for Justice. I still haven't read issue 1 yet. I have to. That's why I'll tell you at the end. But also picked up issue number 11 of the New Gods. Still have to read issue 10, but this is the one series that I'm more caught up on. I love the New Gods. If I was to give up all my other DC purchases, that would be the one thing I would keep. I didn't buy any. I didn't buy any new Marvel comics this week. The whole Age of Revelation thing, I'm not getting into that. I'm just not. And I've also decided the DC KO stuff, I'm not doing any of that either. So, but there are some more independent title books that I'm picking up. We got Blade Runner Black Lotus issue number 2 from Titan. This was a cool cover. I decided to go with this one. There's issue number 3 of Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. So I had already read issue number 1, which I really liked. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but picked up issue 3, and this is not the cover A, this is the cover B. I did not realize it at the time, but it's fine. I also decided to pick up Heat Seeker Exposed, issue number 3. I decided to go with the more PG cover, I guess you could call it. I just like the look of this cover, so that's another series I got to read. And I also picked up this. I saw this came up, I think, last week on Show Us What You Got. People were showing it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was coming out. This is Something is Killing the Children. A monster hunter walks into a bar. They didn't have the Jenny Frison cover because I'm a week late to it, but they still had this one, and I preferred this one over the main cover, so I went with that. So those are all my new comic book day books. Now, I picked up something else on the same day. They're not new books, but I had gone after going to Warp 1, I went to a couple other places. I picked up a different book that's not comic book related at all. So I will probably just show that on my Instagram as well. And then I went to WeBook In, and I thought, well, let's just look in their comic bins. Because I had actually started the day. I went to WeBook In downtown. They didn't have anything I wanted. Then I went down to Warp 1 and picked up my newish books, new this week and last week, and some were a little older than that, but still all relatively new books. And then I went to a place called Alhambra Books, great little store. I stopped off at the Goodwill. There wasn't anything I wanted there. I went to WeBook In and looked at their comic books, and it was the same stuff that's been there for a while. So And I was getting ready to walk out, and I said, this is good. Do you have anything upstairs in the magazine section that I might want? And he told me what was there, and I was like, yeah, but we just got in a whole bunch of Savage Sword of Conan. Okay. I was like, yeah, I want to see that. So they hadn't actually put it upstairs yet. They still had it in its plastic bin. The person who basically traded or sold them to Weebookin had bagged and boarded them, although the bags and boards are probably a little older. But when I went through them, and there was a lot of good options. There was Savage Swords of Conan, but there was also Conan Saga books, and there were some other books that weren't like they had the magazine size for the NAM, but that's just not my thing. And they had some older had some older horror magazines, and also not my thing. But I told him he needs to look those up and price them accordingly. That was my favor I did for him that day or yesterday. Anyway, but I picked two books, two Savage Sword of Conans, and they're consecutive ones together. And the first one I picked it. I paid $9 each for these books. They're a little bit rough shape, but you just don't see these in my area very often in any sort of condition other than destroyed. So we got Savage Sword of Conan the Barbarian, issue number 115. So, and that's a Joe Jusko cover, which is one of the main reasons I decided to pick it. I'm pretty sure that's the Joe Jusko version cover. But they also had issue number 116, which is a Bill Sienkiewicz cover, or Sienkiewicz as Mr. What's his? Oh, I should know this. West Coast Avengers says sometimes. So, yeah. So, Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 116. Right, and like I said, I paid $9 each for those. It's probably a little more than what they. I don't know. When it comes to pricing out magazines, I'm not as good at that as other things. So, but yeah, I picked up those books, and like I said, there was something else, but it's a cosplay book. It's not a comic book, so I will just show that on my Instagram. All right, so that is all for this video. I greatly appreciate you watching. Do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever you feel like doing is fine. And I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.